What is up, team? Gonna get into this trade recap. After the trade recap, we're gonna do a little charting session. Kind of just go over where the market's at. We're close to all-time highs, so I want to touch on that a little bit. But let's get into this trade recap. So again, we took two trades today. The first one was a short on Nasdaq. We actually had this trade planned out. If we look at the 1 hour here, I had basically said in my my pre-market analysis, if we come up and tap into this high time frame imbalance, this 1 hour, and take this liquidity, I'd be looking for shorts, my liquidity sweep model back to the downside. And really, this is kind of what I was looking at. So if you look at this overall, we had this swing low right here before the last move up, swing high. Okay, so we pushed down, tap discount, continued higher. So what I was looking for was a touch into this high time frame imbalance, okay, right into this 1 hour fair value gap right there. And I was looking to fade it back down from the rebound. So if we came up there, took that liquidity, that would have been our high. We would have had an OTE range right there, and I would have shorted that down to that area there. So we did get the short, but we just didn't get price delivery. We didn't have efficient price delivery. That's all there is to it. So that's what I was looking at. I was hoping we'd come up, tap into this high time frame imbalance, reject it. We also had SMT at the same time. We'd take that high, and that was pretty well the trade. So if we hop down onto the 1 minute here, we can see exactly, show you exactly what we did. I think most of you took this with me, and this is a great model, and I will take this all day long. Like this was good. So we came down, we had taken this buy side liquidity, and this dotted line here is the SMT. So we were holding SMT still, right? So then I took the short right when we broke this fair value gap right here. Okay, just a 1 minute fair value gap. I'll put 1 hour, but it's not a 1 hour just to make it darker. Let's see here. Boom. So right when we closed there, I got in. Now, my first target was going to be these lows right here, right? So these lows would have been my first target. So that's where I would have liked to see price deliver, which would have been about 38 points, 40 points. That would have been a nice push right down to there. And then my final target would have been this discount range right here, exactly like we planned out. Now it would have been 67 points. Now, the reason why I cut it and took my profits, I took it right about here. I got about 15 or 18 points out of that. We were coming down, and I noticed on NQ, like you really just have to manage these trades accordingly, right? Like you gotta, like if we're in a trade like this, we don't just expect it to just go like this. Like that's what we want it to do, right? But we don't expect it to do that every time. We have to manage our trades accordingly. And I got in the trade and I was up on it. I was in profit. Came back. I had a little bit of a drawdown. Then we pushed. I noticed we created this SMT. And at the same time, look at ES. Look what ES was doing right at that time. Like look at the open here. Okay, so this is exactly when we were in the trade right here. The S&P 500 is not doing anything. So if it's not clearing lows, like look at, I was saying in the trade, I'm like, we got to clear some of these lows. We got to close below one of these lows, like this low here. We have to see a candle closure below it, showing that we're not just sweeping and coming back up, right? So, and we weren't getting that. We were not getting that. And I just said, you know what? I took some off and then started trailing my stop and got stopped out. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. We have SMT. We have structure here that is not showing bear sentiment. Like we're not closing below any of these lows. We're just creating equal lows and going higher. And look at what we did. We ended up slow grind up, right? So that was the trade, and I'm okay with that. That's one of those trades where I'll take it every time. We got a high time frame imbalance. We took the liquidity that we wanted. We have our inversion fair value gap. So we have our liquidity sweep model, and we have a clear target, and we just didn't get it. So that's the way the market is sometimes. Now, it was a profitable trade. 10, 15 points is still a decent trade. I would have liked more out of it, but we just didn't get it. So I managed it accordingly, right? So when you see that stuff, you got to react fast and just get out of the trade. Realize that, okay, this is what I'm seeing. I always say that. What do we know? What don't we know? And what are we observing? Well, I know that we have our model. I took the trade. What don't I know? I don't know if the draw is lower. I don't know if that high time frame balance is going to hold. I don't know if we're going to go higher right now. And what am I observing? I'm observing that ES is not giving me the structure and showing me that it wants to go lower. So NQ is probably going to sweep some lows and continue higher if ES pushes. So that's the facts right there, right? So we just get out of that trade. So that was the first trade. We then took a trade on gold, and I really wish I had have stuck this one out a little more, to be honest with you guys. I just didn't like the way that I was in that trade on NQ. So I think I just took a scalp. That's all it was. But either way, so this is the trade right here. So I got in, first off, I got in on the 2-minute sell, which we had a nice move. Like we had this, I was up like 2.1. Like that's a nice move on gold. We then retraced and tapped back in here, and I actually added, because this is our ICT level model. If you look here, swing high, swing low, where did we tap? Discount, where are we holding? We're still holding below. We got the fair value gap right there, right? We got that fair value gap. So I added again, and my average was 38, I think. So yeah, 3168. So right there was my average. Okay. And then we started to push down, and I started to just trail, and I got out like right here. So, I wish I had held it. I could have held this. My target was this lower level. And if I had have held through this, we would have got a really nice move here. But I would have had to hold through all this. And I just didn't, like, usually these moves, I like them to happen quick. And it just didn't, right? So I just took my profits. I think just seeing how the market was moving with my NQ trade, that affected this trade, which it's okay. Sometimes if we don't feel like we have efficient price delivery, we're going to take what we know we can get, right? So I think I ended up getting about that on this trade. So still a profitable trade. It was still up. Like I was up over $300 on the day with 5 accounts. I'm cool with that. It's a decent day. I wasn't pushing for more. Also, I didn't trade yesterday. So coming in today, I was kind of like, all right, let's just be gentle with the position sizing and, taking what we can get. So that was it. But either way, you guys know the model. We got the liquidity sweep model, 2-minute sell, and it pushed into our ICT level model. Sorry, not liquidity sweep. Pushed into the ICT level model, and this was it. This was it. We then kind of chopped around that level, and that was it. So those are the 2 trades. Now I'm just going to get into just another chart here, and let's just get into what we got going on NQ right now. Okay, because I'll be honest, I really think, like I don't like to predict, and I'm not predicting anything, okay? But I really think that possibly this week with NFP and all that, we're going to push for these all-time highs. I really think we're going to push for those. The way I'm looking at the charts right now, I feel like this might be the week that we might push for those all-time highs. Now, don't get me wrong. We could, come up, hit this daily and absolutely dump. I'm not predicting anything. I'm just looking at what I see and observing and seeing what I see is, I guess, the best way I can put it, right? So if you look at this, I spoke about this. We've kind of been dancing between these 2 fair value gaps. We got this fair value gap right here, right? We got this one. Why can't I get that tool? We got this one right here, and we got this one right here. We also have one up here. Now we rejected out of that one, traded down to this one, pushed back up to this one. And I spoke about this today. When we dance between fair value gaps, or we're like we're respecting both of them, we get a lot of weird price action. Today, you guys see that price action, like it was algorithmic, like it wasn't, I don't like it, to be honest. I hate when we're doing that. I like efficient price action, like not that algo print stuff. It's fucking bullshit. So, but anyways, I think that if we can get up and close above this fair value gap, we're going to push into this one, take this high. If we get above this one, obviously I think we're going to take these highs. Now, if we have real strong displacement through this final daily imbalance, I think we're going to zoom for those highs. I really think we're going to zoom for those highs. So just kind of what I'm looking at. I am going to be very careful this week. I know some of you have been in all-time high territory before. When we're trading around all-time highs, it's very, price action is very, it's weird sometimes. I'm like, I think anyways, I've been at all-time highs with multiple different stocks, equities, assets, and it's just, you'll see when we get up there, it mentally feels like you want to short too, but sometimes we just keep going and keep going, keep zooming higher. So let's just be very careful around this area here. When we get up in this territory here, wrong tool. When we get up in that territory, it's going to be tricky trading. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. So, we might have some smooth price action, but I have a feeling it's going to be tricky. So really what I'm looking at is this daily right here to be disrespected in the next day or so, to take this liquidity and keep going. That's what I want to see these highs get taken. I feel like once we take these highs, then the market can dictate where it's going to go a little better, right? Now, don't get me wrong, we could come up and disrespect or respect these and then fade to the downside. So I'm going to be looking for that too. The way the levels printed today, I haven't got them charted, but I see in the charts. I don't think there's going to be any levels in this area. There isn't. I'm like 98% sure. I just know I can chart these levels in the back of my eyes closed now. All of our new levels are going to be in this area here. With these high wicks and stuff like that, I don't think there was enough institutional order flow up there for us to have solid levels. Now, I could be wrong. There might be one or two I'll have to go and actually do the charting, but just seeing how we went through stuff today, I just don't think there is. So kind of what I'm looking at, guys. I hopefully that helps a little bit. Now, today, what were we looking at today? We'll just jump down to the 1 hour. And I had spoke about this today. We have came into this daily. We've respected this. I really wanted to see us respect this 1 hour right here. Take this high, okay? And then continue down to rebalance, like to equilibrium. So if we take this swing high, just swing low there. I really wanted us to see us come down, trade up, push down, sweep that high, liquidity sweep, and then down like this. And then we can make our way back up. That would have been more efficient to me. That would have been more efficient price action to me, but we didn't get that. We literally just kind of algo printed all the way up. And if you look at the 5 minute today, you guys, it's not like, look at this stuff. Today wasn't good action. I don't care what anybody says. I spoke with some other traders too. Look at this. Look at our pullback. That's brutal. Look at this. Those wicks. Look at this. Indecisive. Look at this. Look at these candles. It's just algorithmic price action. Very, very brutal. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at for the next couple days. I really feel like we're going to push for those all-time highs. Today was a decent day. We did capitalize on our liquidity sweep model. We did, take advantage of that short on gold. It just wasn't efficient price delivery, so we didn't capitalize on as big of moves as we'd like. But you gotta realize that not all the time you're gonna get massive moves, right? Look at yesterday. Yesterday, the levels, massive moves. You guys were printing. Today, we recognized that price wasn't delivering efficiently. We managed our positions a little bit different, right? And that's what it's all about. So that's what's up. Any questions? Yeah, exactly. And there was very few fair value gaps. And when price isn't creating imbalances, that's not normal. Price, it should create those imbalances. Those fair value gaps should be created, especially if we're delivering from a high time frame imbalance and we're pushing down towards liquidity. We should have some imbalances, some fair value gaps formed, and we didn't, right? So that being said, you can tell that tells me price isn't delivering efficiently. You know what I mean? Even at the start here, when we tried to take that short and we just weren't taking, we were just taking liquidity and pushing back up and not doing anything on ES, right? It was just stalling out on ES. So, definitely good eye on that, man. Good eye, because when you recognize that we're not creating any imbalances or nothing, it's best just to stay back, stay out of the scene. It really is. No, I don't trade Forex. The pairs I trade I stick to futures. So I just trade the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Those are basically the pairs. They move. They're correlated assets. So I trade those. And really, I'm not really a Forex trader, but I think trading futures definitely is where it's at. The movement, everything like that. So I don't know if you do trade Forex, but try hopping on futures. Trade at Nasdaq and S&P 500 for a bit. I think you'd probably end up sticking to it for sure. And then we trade gold. I trade RTY, stuff like that. We do have an options analyst in here too that's calling out option plays all the time on all kinds of stuff like Tesla. But I mainly stick to Nasdaq, gold, and S&P 500. And the reason why is because my levels and the system I trade works the best on that. So yeah, no Forex for me.
Hey Brad, I have a question for you.
Yep.
How do you get to know that it's not a great day to trade today? Because I was red today, so
Where you just have to watch candle structure, watch order flow. Like look at these candles. Like look at this 15 minute. Like just let's look right here. Look at this right here, right? Just after market open. Like
yeah,
or sorry,
very
that's
slow.
not sorry, that's not today. So we're just let me get into today. Where am I here? Yeah, so look at right here. Like it's just not efficient price action. These candles are just they're just kind of floating around. You know what I mean? There's no real clear movement. And if you look on even the smaller time frame, like me and Andy were saying, there's no imbalances being created. So there's no fair value gaps. Like look at these moves up. Like
Right.
there's no entry. There's no
Only
pullback, no
handles I
entry.
take here. Yeah.
Yeah, like look at this here. When we push up, come back, there's no fair value gaps. This is a fair value gap here, but even the trade we took, I'll show you the trade that we took. Um, just let me go on to the 1 minute here. So if you look here on the 1 minute,
Mhm.
so this is the trade we took. Now this is our liquidity sweep model. We trade this all the time, and this model prints. So we have this buy side liquidity, right? We had this. It was an hour. It was from the high overnight, and we have a 1 hour imbalance run. We come through. We clear through this fair value gap, okay,
Right.
and then we don't continue lower. Look at these wicks. We don't want to see that.
That's
It's not efficient. And we don't even come up and tap this fair value gap and continue lower. We just push up and then kind of chop, right? So when you see that happening when they're not creating imbalances, and if you go into a trade and it's a model you trade and it doesn't, you can tell, like I can just tell price isn't delivering efficiently here just from the candle structure, right? And if you look at ES at the same time,
right.
look at ES. Where is it here? Let me just go to the reset. Yeah, right here. Look at this open. Right here. Right? Like that is brutal. Brutal
Right.
open, right? So and if you look here, see how there's no imbalances, no fair value gaps being created? Like this one, little one there, but nothing. And look at this. That's algo's printing and just not the best price delivery. So you just have to study it, my friend. Just watch it, and just know to sit back on those days because these are the days that you get burnt on. You know what I mean? Like trading, like you can probably come in and be great every day, but as long as you can manage these bad days and bad price delivery days, then those are the days that are going to make you as a trader, right? So like
That's true. That's
I took this first trade and then I took the trade on gold and I was just like, you know what, I'm done for the day. I wanted to make more today, but the market wasn't allowing it, right? And I just said that's it for me. So
makes it.
yeah, so just basically look for if the market's creating imbalances. If it's pushing up and creating fair value gaps and respecting them, then you know price is delivering efficiently. If it isn't, if it's just kind of wick like these wicks like this, then
Right.
you know like okay, just it's not the day to be putting on size. Now that doesn't mean you can't trade. You just want to size properly and just be very particular with your entries, right?
Okay. That makes sense. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Yeah, man, no problem, brother. Boom. Any other quick questions before we bounce out? I'm going to get these levels printed and we will be back to trade live tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow, I think we got NFP dropping tomorrow and then the rest of the news on Friday. So usually those are high impact news. So we're probably going to get some big movement at 8:30 when that candle opens. And yeah, hopefully get some better movement today. It'd be nice. Anyways, guys, I'm going to bounce. You guys have a good rest of your night and I'll get these levels printed and we'll be back to trade live tomorrow. Peace.